Hi everybody, and welcome to Ouroboros Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is looking into how it is that they think you are feeling. This is one of my favorite readings to do. These readings today were super specific, so take what resonates, leave the rest. If there's not a message here, that's okay too. There may not be a message that's meant for you in this video. But yeah, I have 3 groups for you to choose from. Group 1, Group 2, and Group 3. Go ahead and pause this video. Take as much time as you need to find the group that sits right with your energy as well as with your person's, and I'll see you in a minute. Hi Pile 1, and welcome to your reading. Today we're looking into how do they think you feel. And for this reading, we are going to look into what the current energy is between the two of you. If it doesn't resonate, it's probably not your pile. We'll then look into how it is that they think you are currently seeing them. We'll look into how they think you're currently feeling about them. And then we'll look into how this assumption of how they think you're feeling is making them feel. And before we get started, there's one announcement. I have opened up my Amazon wish list again for reading exchanges. So for those of you who did not participate last year, essentially I've made an Amazon wish list with different decks and things to use for the channel. And next to each thing, if you have it on list mode, you'll be able to see if it's for a 1-question written reading or a 2-question written reading. If you purchase any of those things, they'll get sent to me, and I, in exchange, will give you a 2 or 1-question written reading, depending on what you buy. Also, my Etsy shop is still open, so if that's not something you're comfortable with, you can still book personal readings through there as well. But we got a lot of good stuff last year, and I'm excited to spruce things up a bit. Okay, so to get started, let's see. I believe these ones here. I'm just going to put all of these to the side until we need it. So current energy between the two of you. So for that we have number 26, listen. We have number 13, circle. We have a light. We have number 9, small influences. And we have number 49, revolution. Okay, so what is currently going on between the two of you? What's your current energy? I feel like recently someone has laid their cards out on the table, essentially. I feel like there was a really important conversation or moment that the two of you have shared recently, or that is coming in the near future that the both of you can feel, that has to do with speaking a truth of some kind. And I feel like for the majority of you, this has to do with you expressing something that's been weighing on you. And I think that depending on the circumstances, but for the majority of you, it feels like the two of you may not be seeing eye to eye in terms of the importance of what it is that you've shared, where I feel like there's a lot of urgency on your end. There's not as much urgency on this person's end. There's a desire here on both of your ends to come up with a way to solve whatever it is that needs to be solved. But it feels like whatever this conversation was a catalyst for change that cannot be undone. It feels like it could potentially be feeling a little bit chaotic between the two of you currently, or a little bit wobbly or disorienting between the two of you. And that's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. It's just kind of like what's happening right now, because change brings that kind of energy. So yeah, if that sounds like you and your person and like currently what's going on between the two of you, let's go ahead and look into how they think that you are currently viewing them. So for that we have child nature. The light attributes are friendship with animals, communication with nature spirits, and the shadow attribute is tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. We also have flamingo with the keyword being sustenance. and we have the dragon. So how do they think that you are currently seeing them? I think your person is under the impression that you are seeing them try. You're seeing them try to make these changes that you're asking of them. You're seeing them try to put their ego in check, to balance their ego, to really like move past what their ego is telling them, in order to make some changes, in order to transform in a way that's positive. And I think that they're under the impression that you are seeing the effort that they are making. And I think that there's been a few epiphanies here that they seem to think that you are seeing within them. Epiphanies in terms of like who they are, or how their actions affect others, how their words or their even inaction has an impact on those around them. Whereas in the past, I don't necessarily know if that was something that has been considered. But it feels like this person is trying to right the order of things. They're trying to bring things back to a neutral state. They're trying to get things back to a place where it doesn't feel so awkward or chaotic. And they're becoming much more aware of their thoughts, their actions, and their words. And I think that this is something that they also feel like they think you see them this way, but it feels authentic to what is actually happening. Yeah. So let's go ahead and look into how they think you are feeling. And for that, I have oracles, but we're also going to pull tarot. For the oracles, we have the Dead End, we have Gossip, and we have number 49, the Summoner. The affirmation is, I ask for what I want because I deserve to get it. Okay. We're just going to pull a few just for a little bit of clarity. Okay, Spirit, how does pile 1's person think that pile 1 is currently feeling? So we have the Page of Swords. We have the Two of Swords. Okay, we have the Page of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles. Let's get one more. And the Three of Swords. Bottom of the deck is the Hanged One. Okay, so how do they think you are currently feeling? So with this Two of Swords here and the Dead End, I get the feeling that they're under the impression that you are unsure of this connection and the future of it, in terms of like, is there even the possibility of the two of you being able to move forward? I think that they feel as though you're open to this. They seem to think that you're feeling open to ideas, open to possibilities to make this work, but you yourself don't necessarily see what it is that could happen in order for this to change for the better. Like there's I think for some of you, your person feels as though there's a lack of trust when it comes to how you feel about them. You don't necessarily trust them and their ability or their reliability when it comes to making the changes that you've asked, or when it comes to them meeting the needs of what it is that you've asked for. I think for some of you, they also feel as though you may feel very unsure of this connection, or a little bit foolish or a little bit naive when it comes to what it is you thought, where it is you thought this connection would head versus where it has headed. But at the end of the day, like they seem to be thinking that you're feeling pretty set in stone when it comes to your boundaries. Like whatever it is that has like transpired between the two of you, I feel like, especially because with this Summoner card, we have number 49. We also had number 49 revolution. So I do feel as though for the majority of you, this has to do with you creating change that you need. You being the catalyst to the change that needs to happen. And you aren't, I sense that you're unsure. They think that you're unsure, but they don't feel as though you lack the confidence to walk away if there is no path that opens for this connection in which this connection could serve you. Like, I sense that they're recognizing that their behavior or their approach or their thoughts on you, on this connection in the past has been a source of pain for you. It's something that has hurt you. And it almost feels like they feel as though you've given up, not necessarily like on your connection, but you've given up on putting in the effort, and you're waiting for things to be kind of balanced. And I don't think that like your person is seeing you as somebody who's feeling angry or bitter or resentful. I don't think that they feel as though the choices you're making or the changes that you're making have to do with you trying to be cruel or you trying to be mean or you trying to control them. There's not a feeling of that here. What it feels like is this person sees you making these choices, making these moves for the sake of love, for the sake of self-love, for the sake of loving this person and wanting the best for this person, for the sake of this connection and whether or not this connection has the opportunity to continue to grow, or whether or not this opportunity or this connection has the opportunity to kind of end gracefully, rather than completely turn sour where it can't be salvaged at all. There's a lot of like thought and compassion here that your person sees you feeling when it comes to the decisions you're making and how you're approaching this. I think that they feel, for a lot of you, this person feels as though you have felt unappreciated for a long time. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Let's go ahead and look into how this makes them feel. Whoops. So many cards. Okay, we're going to use a different deck for this. Okay, Spirit. How does this make Pile 1's person feel? How do these assumptions of how Pile 1 is feeling make this person feel? How do they feel? How is Pile 1's person feeling? Okay, so we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed. How is it that Pile 1's person is feeling? We have the Seven of Swords. The Nine of Pentacles. How is this making this person feel? We have Temperance. Why is the Queen of Pentacles reversed, Spirit? Why is the Queen of Pentacles reversed? We have Strength. Why is the Seven of Swords here? We have the Seven of Wands. Why is the Nine of Pentacles here? We have the Chariot. Okay, and why is Temperance here? We have the Five of Cups. Bottom of the deck is the Ten of Swords. Okay. The first thing I would say, Pile 1, is that your person seems to be really in their head. Like, they seem to be in like kind of like a state of panic is what I want to say. And I don't necessarily think that this person is thinking calmly and making choices from like a calm and peaceful place, or like a calm and secure place. I think that there's a lot of fear here of being alone. And it feels like this is a problem that has a lot of urgency in it to them. I think for some of you, this person doesn't necessarily know how, like if there was a betrayal of some kind, your person doesn't necessarily know how to right that. Like I sense that they're seeing their shortcomings. Your person is seeing their shortcomings and is realizing that like you don't have to put up with less than what it is that you deserve. There are plenty of other people out there. There's plenty of other people that would gladly take this person's place. And I think that this is something that they are very aware of, and it concerns them. It concerns them because they know that they care for you. And there's pain here in knowing that they have hurt you. There's a desire, like there's a really strong desire here to fix things, but it's coming from a place of fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of the pain that they could potentially feel if this were to end. And I think that there's an element here of them feeling a little bit upset with themselves for having ignored this for so long, or having not treated you in the way that you deserve to be treated for so long. And I think that they feel as though the ball is completely in your court at this point. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and get some oracles. Is there anything that I missed when it comes to how pile 1's person is feeling? So we have dream travel, number 52. We have labyrinth, number 23. Is there anything that I missed, Spirit? We have someone soon. And we have you, number 39, you can't find your goodness because you lost your heart. Okay. So yeah, I think that there's a lot of self-reflection going on right now, and I don't think that this person really had the introspection that was needed in order to see how they were potentially affecting you and others around you. And now that they're realizing it, they don't feel very good about themselves. They're seeing themselves in a completely different light. They're seeing themselves from the perspective of the people that they have hurt. And I think that they're really in their head with this labyrinth here, as well as with dream travel. I feel like they are kind of at a loss for like how they got as far as they did, how they got to where they are, how they're going to fix everything. And then there's this urgency here with someone soon. I feel like this person feels as though this issue is something that's very urgent, and it's causing them a lot of anxiety. And I think that it might be blurring their judgment a little bit. Yeah. But that's what I'm seeing for you guys today. Let's go ahead and get you guys some advice. So, Spirit, what advice is there for pile 1 when it comes to this connection? We just want a couple. Just a couple, please. What advice is there for pile 1 when it comes to this connection? So we have, I claim my desires, I hold great visions, I am ready to receive. This is really powerful because it's essentially exactly what we've been talking about. I feel like your guides are really celebrating you and applauding you currently for having stood up for what it is that you truly want or what it is that you truly believe in. They're applauding you for your authenticity, for your courage to be authentic. I think that they're asking you to hold your vision. I can expand time when I'm inspired. That one in particular is kind of giving me the message that this feeling of urgency might be coming through for you as well. And it's important to understand that nothing needs to be rushed. Things can be figured out in its own time. There's nothing good can come from like making a decision based on fears of certain outcomes, especially when we haven't looked at all different routes and options and stuff. And then we have, I honor my self-worth by asking for what I want. All right, pile one. Well, that is what I'm seeing for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the Amazon wish list, or if you would like to book a 3 or 4 question reading or just any type of reading on Etsy, feel free to do that as well. And I hope that I'll have another chance to read for you again sometime soon. Bye. Hi, pile 2, and welcome to your reading on how it is that they think you are feeling. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited to do this reading. This is one of my favorite spreads to do. Before we get started, I wanted to announce that my Amazon wishlist is now open again. Last year I had opened it up and people could purchase items on the wish list in exchange for 1 or 2 question readings, depending on the cost of the item. And these items are like, you know, tarot decks, oracles, things like that that we can use for the channel. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, the link to my Amazon wishlist is in the description box of this video. Most of the items are less expensive than a 1 or 2 question reading in my Etsy shop. So if that's something that you're interested in, it's a lot of fun. I love getting new decks, and it's enjoyable for you guys to be able to see the decks that you've purchased in these videos. But also I have my Etsy shop still open. So if that's not something you're comfortable with or you want to ask more questions, you can still buy a reading that way. Okay, so this reading, I don't remember if I already told you what's happening in this reading. I don't think I did. We're going to look into the current energy between the two of you. I'm so sorry if I'm repeating myself. Just skip ahead. The current energy between the two of you, how it is that they think you are seeing them, how it is that they think you are feeling toward them, and how these assumptions make them feel, how these assumptions about you and your feelings have made them feel. Yeah, so I'm going to set aside some of the oracles until later. Let's see, this one needs to come out. Okay, so I think those ones are the ones we need for now. And these cards are for the current energy between the two of you. So for that we have number 24, returning. We have number 11, make your move. And we have pentacles. I actually want to put it like this. Okay, so what's currently going on between the two of you? I feel like this is like, there's a couple of ways I could interpret this. A really big one that's coming through is that the two of you may be going through a move together of some kind, like potentially this was a long distance connection, and the two of you are bridging that gap. The two of you have decided to close that distance between the two of you. It could be that there is taking this connection to the next phase, where you move in together, taking this connection to the next phase physically, emotionally. It feels like there's a new phase starting, or a new chapter starting for this connection. For some of you, this could be a rekindling, like the two of you could have had a pause on this connection, or the two of you there could have been some hiccups And it feels like the two of you are getting back on track. Yeah, like the energy that I'm seeing is like very much so future oriented. Like, yes, we have this returning card, but with make your move and pentacles here, I feel very strongly like the energy that's surrounding the two of you currently is energy that is forward moving rather than stagnant or repetitive and like circling round and round and round. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing. If that resonates, if this sounds like your pile, let's go ahead and get into the second part of this reading, which is how it is that they think you are currently viewing them. And for that, we have the Hawk. We have the Prince. The light attribute is romantic charm and potential for power, and the shadow attribute is using power for self-aggrandizement. And we have the flashlight fish, with the keyword being reciprocate. Okay, so pile 2, I would say that your person is under the impression that you are seeing them in a really positive light. There's a lot of hope for this future, and like there's a lot being put on this person and what it is that they can give you or bring to you in terms of like a foundation for this. I think that they are under the impression that you are seeing them as a part of your destiny or a part of your fate, or a soul type of connection. Like you're seeing them as a soulmate, and it's a path that you are meant to be on. There's something really intense and profound about this connection, and it feels right. This person, from their perspective, they're seeing you see them as somebody who treats you right and as somebody who views you as an equal, and equals in all ways, shapes, and forms. Like they're not throwing you breadcrumbs while you give your all. You know, like there's equality here and respect and reciprocated feelings, and somebody who is showing up as their best selves, is putting on their best behavior in order to perhaps catch your eye, or in order to let you know just how deeply they feel for you, in order to show you their intentions. They feel as though you're seeing them as somebody who is being true and forthright in their intentions. Yeah. So, I mean, if you don't see them that way, if you see them as like something negative, this person's very delusional. Okay. So, now we're going to look into how it is that they think you are feeling. And so for that, we have Anima Mundi. We have number 24, the Patient. The affirmation is, I can endure whatever twists and turns life brings me. We have Expansion. And we have the Heart. I'm also going to go ahead and pull Tarot. We're going to use two different decks. So we'll use this deck for this part, and then we'll use a different deck for how they are feeling. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle it one more time. Okay. Spirit, we're looking into pile 2. How is it that pile 2's person thinks that pile 2 is feeling currently? Okay, so we have the Page of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles, the 4 of Wands, the 8 of Wands, and Temperance. Okay, and then back of the deck is the 8 of Cups. There's a lot here, again, indicating moving. The Page of Wands is about, it can be about travel, it can be about thinking outside the box, seeing what is beyond the horizon, exploring options for your future. The Eight of Wands is also a card of travel and moving and communication. And the Eight of Cups also represents movement. It represents moving away from something that is not serving you anymore and going towards your truth, right? And then if we, even in this heart card, if we look at the heart, inside in the center of this image, I see a boat with two people on it. So again, there's all this imagery, there's all these messages of like movement and of coming together and bridging gaps, things like that. And this could just be, it doesn't necessarily have to be physical movement. It could be emotional movement, moving forward, where there once was stagnancy, perhaps. But what I'm seeing is that your person feels as though you feel very excited. You feel very excited for this connection. You feel very curious, I would say, hopeful and optimistic. Like they're seeing you feel a large range of positive emotions when it comes to them and this connection. I get the feeling that they're seeing you as somebody who feels very open-hearted, open-minded, accepting of things, and not accepting in the way of you are accepting much less than you deserve, but more so accepting in the sense of like you are approaching this from a realistic perspective. Like there's all of these fast emotions and there's this passion here and there's this excitement here. But at the same time, realistically, you understand that there are constraints and to some regard that are outside of your control. There's like a realisticness here to life's challenges and a patience here, a patience perhaps for this person or a patience for how slowly or how quickly this is panning out. Like there's an acceptance of what is, and they're seeing you as somebody who is happy with what is. I think with this Ten of Pentacles here as well, they think you feel like you're very future oriented, long term. Like you feel as though this could be your person. You feel as though this could be your life partner. You feel as though this is the person that you are going to build a legacy with. And there's like a lot of intuition here too. Like your person seems to feel as though you intuitively feel something deep here, feel something very important here. And you are allowing yourself to be guided by your intuition for the time being. There's a lot of trust here on your end that your person is seeing. I think that this person feels as though you have given them your heart. You've opened yourself up to them. And it's something very special and something very delicate and something that is meant to be treated with love and respect. Yeah. They think that you are feeling a lot of really wonderful things. Yeah. Like enamored, romantic, just excited. Let's go ahead and look into how this makes your person feel. Okay, Spirit, how do these assumptions that Pile 2's person has made make them feel? How are they currently feeling about these assumptions? Okay, so we have the Five of Swords. We have the King of Cups. We have the Page of Swords. How are they currently feeling about these assumptions? We have the Hermit, and we have the Two of Swords reversed. Why is the Five of Swords here, Spirit? Please clarify the Five of Swords. Why is the Five of Swords here in this spread? We have the Four of Wands coming out again, and the King of Cups, please. Why is the King of Cups in this spread? Okay, we have the Ten of Swords, Page of Swords. We have the Three of Wands. And for the Hermit, we have the Page of Wands coming out again, and the Two of Swords reversed. Why is the Two of Swords reversed? We have the Nine of Swords. And we also have the Ten of Wands. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the Seven of Cups. Okay. So I feel like your person has a lot of different feelings going on. They're kind of all over the place. I would say that for sure this person feels hopeful. They feel hopeful and curious about the future and where the decisions that the two of you are making currently might lead later on. There's hopefulness there. But there's also this feeling of heaviness in terms of understanding the responsibility or the level of impact that they potentially could have on you. I think for some of you, especially if this is a connection where you guys moved in together or you bridged the gap physically from like a long distance relationship, I kind of wonder if they are concerned that they acted selfishly or they asked more of you than what it was that like you were potentially like. They hope that they haven't pressured you, is kind of what I'm getting. And I also think that there might be concern here on like, you know, if this is a new phase, right? So it's uncharted territory. It's a lot to place your livelihood essentially in the hands of another person in terms of like sharing a roof and, you know, trusting this person enough. And I think that they understand that this is a really big decision. Like whatever changes are happening for you, whatever next step you're going to, is one that is really, really big, and they don't want it to be something where it benefits one person more than the other. They want it to be something that is equal. I think that they've used the time from the past before this new phase, before this rekindling, before this next step. They use that time to really reflect and find information within them about themselves and what it is that they want. And they feel they feel really confident when it comes to the future and the vision that the two of you share. I think that for a long time there was a lot of stagnancy, especially with this Two of Swords being reversed. And I feel like there's an element or a feeling here of feeling free, of feeling freed from the anxieties of whatever was going on in the past, like of being able to release certain burdens that were holding them back, so that they could move forward. I do feel like with the Seven of Cups here, I feel as though they may not necessarily be as, they might not necessarily have as strong of a view as the future as you do currently, like a picture of it and what it's going to consist of. I think that this here is a lot for them to process and is a lot for them to kind of settle into before they think too far ahead into the future. And I think that's kind of what they're trying to do currently. But let's go ahead and get some oracles and see if anything else comes through that I have missed. Okay. So we have love grows love and restlessness. We have the sheep who wandered and found a different shepherd. Okay, we have the weight of truth. And you can't find your goodness because you lost your heart. And then bottom of the deck is in between worlds. There's some confusion here. And I'm not necessarily... I think that this person really feels a great deal of care for you, pile 2, a great deal of love, and those feelings are mutual. I think, though, that this person has placed a lot of responsibility on themselves for your emotional well-being, or they have placed a lot of responsibility on you for their emotional well-being, and it's something that is kind of affecting them emotionally currently. I think that whatever change the two of you are going through currently is a change that has left them feeling a little bit disoriented. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that they haven't found their bearings yet. They haven't found, where they fit in completely when it comes to all of this change. And I think that either they feel as though you kind of pushed them a little bit, or they pushed you a little bit to move on to this next phase. And they're happy to be where they're at, but there's also this awareness within them that things need to kind of lose a little bit of momentum so that they can catch up with everything that's going on, and so that you can catch up with everything that's going on. Yeah. Okay, yep, that's what I'm seeing for you guys. Let's go ahead and get you guys some advice before we end this reading. Okay, what advice is there for pile 2? Okay, so we have I celebrate my progress. Awareness, not perfection, is the goal. So again, there's this like I was saying earlier when it came to how they were seeing you, they're seeing you as somebody who, or how you're feeling, they're seeing you as somebody who is realistic about like time restraints, just restraints in general, things that like obstacles that could potentially come in the way. There's like optimism here, but there's also realism and understanding that there needs to be some patience and leeway when it comes to big changes. And this is a reminder that that's something that is really important for you to remind yourself of, especially if you are being hard on yourself for not being at a certain milestone that you thought you would be by this time, or you're not at a certain milestone in this relationship that you thought you would be in. There's a message here to celebrate how far you have come. Let's keep going. Okay, we have every cell in my body is conscious and communicates with each positive thought I have. And my greatest experience of freedom comes when I let go of what others think of me. And the bottom of the deck is I send a prayer of love to all beings in need of a miracle. Okay, well, this is what I'm seeing for you today, pile 2. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this is your first time clicking on a video of mine, I would love it if you subscribed, liked, commented. I am super appreciative of the support that I receive on this channel. It helps my channel grow. And I hope that I'll have another chance to see you guys in another video soon. Bye! Hi pile 3, and welcome to your reading on how it is that they think you are feeling. So before we get started today, I have an announcement, and the announcement is that I have reopened my Amazon wish list for exchanges in 1 and 2 question readings. So last year I did this where I created a wish list with different types of decks, things like that for the channel, and you could purchase one for the channel in exchange for a 1 or 2 question reading, depending on the price of the item that you purchased. So if that is something you're interested in, it's a lot of fun receiving new decks. It's a lot of fun seeing the decks on the channel that you have purchased. Yeah, and if that's not something you feel comfortable with, but you still would like to get a reading, I also have my shop open via Etsy. So that is an option as well. And the link to both of those things are in the description box of this video. Okay, so when it comes to this reading, this spread, what we're going to be doing today is looking into the current energy between the two of you, how it is that they think you are currently seeing them, how it is that they think you are currently feeling toward them, and how these assumptions have made them feel. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get right on into it. It's the first snow of the year here, so it's an exciting day. Everything is nice and cozy. The view from my window is really beautiful, so I'm really in a good mood. But I just thought I'd share my good mood with you. Okay, so we have Imagine. We also have number 34, Great Vigor. We have Lover, oh my gosh, Lover's Way. And we have number 19, The Past. Okay, so what is the current energy going on between the two of you? So I would say that this is a connection that has come to a close. Like, this is a connection that has already run its course, and the two of you have gone your separate ways. Like, there's definitely, like, this is a no contact spread is what I'm picking up on. But energetically, so like, while there's no contact in person, energetically, what's showing up here is that the two of you are still connected. I feel like things didn't work out, and it could have been because there was like an inequality in like the power dynamic. And what I mean by that is like maybe one person felt a little more deeply than the other, or one person was putting in more effort or wanting more than the other person was willing to. There was like an imbalance here when it comes to emotions. And I feel like during this time apart, there's been a shift in this power dynamic. Things have kind of come back into balance. And I think that, like, especially if you were the one feeling as though you didn't have that balance anymore within yourself, I feel like this could very well have been a connection where you yourself decided to make this change, decided to move on away from this person in order to take back your power. There was like a purpose behind this separation. And it could very well be that the two of you never really had intentions of having this end fully. Like, there's a lot here indicating that there hasn't been like true closure. Like, the door hasn't been completely closed. The light is still on. The door is still unlocked. There's potential here. There was nothing that left a sour taste in either one of yours mouths to make it so that you would not want to reflect and see the good things and remind yourself of the good things that have happened in the past. There's like a lot of like healthy, happy energy here. And even though things didn't necessarily work out, there's no hard feelings here. There's care and compassion towards one another. And I would say, like, I don't know, it feels pretty healthy. Like the two of you are interdependent. Like the two of you are healthy in the sense of like there's no codependency here. There's no waiting for this person to show back up, or there's no waiting for you to say the right thing from this person. There's no expectations like that. I feel like the two of you are kind of like in a state of limbo essentially, but like you both can feel that there is more to come. There's the potential for more to come in this connection than what has happened in the past. So if that sounds like your connection, if that sounds like what you're currently going through, let's go ahead and look into how it is that they think you are currently viewing them. And for that, we have the gossip. The light attribute is awakens consideration to the feelings of others, honoring trust, and the shadow attributes are thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. We have the llama with the keyword being socialize. And we have the wolf. Okay, so how does this person think that you are currently viewing them? This is interesting because I feel like they're looking currently at themselves from your perspective, and they're gaining a bigger picture is kind of what I'm picking up on. I think that they're understanding that like they potentially did not approach this connection in the past as authentically as they could, as like honest as they could in terms of what it was that they were capable of bringing to the table or what it was that they were looking for. There's something here where I feel like they're seeing themselves, like they think you are seeing them as somebody who had the potential to be a really good partner, someone who had the potential to be a life partner to build a future with. But there's a lot of unreliability here, is what I'm seeing. Like this person portrayed themselves as one thing, but then for whatever reason, when it came to the reality of things, once it was time to show up, they could not show up for whatever reason. Yeah, I feel like you're seeing them as somebody who like didn't do anything necessarily wrong. Like they're not a bad person. And if anything, like I could see that there's still friendship here. Like this person still feels as though you view them as a friend, or you see the potential for the two of you to get together again and like just reconnect. But there is like, there's recognition here on your person's end that they let you down, or they showed up in a way where eventually you could no longer take them as a serious choice. Yeah. It's interesting because like I feel like they're unreliable. Like it could very well have been that like you would call them out on these things. Like you would call them out on their unreliability, or on the disappointment you felt for them not doing X, Y, and Z when they said that they were going to, or of not communicating regularly. Like whatever the case may be, like I feel like there could have been disappointment in that regard, but then when you would approach this person about it, they could be somebody who like clearly possesses the ability, like the emotional intelligence to acknowledge what it is that they're doing, acknowledge and understand how it is that you could feel the way that you're feeling. Like it feels like they weren't trying to manipulate you, like in a sinister sort of way. Like it doesn't feel like that. It feels more so like there may have been something else going on behind the scenes that was causing them to not be able to live up to their fullest potential, not be able to show up for you and for the potential of this connection in a way that was like really, would have been really beneficial. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Let's go ahead and see how it is that they think you're feeling. And for this, I have oracles, but then I also am going to pull some tarot. So for that, we have Kairos. We have number 9, the actor. The affirmation is, I know how to act properly and wisely in this situation. And we have gratitude. Okay. Okay, Spirit, how does Pile 3's person think that Pile 3 is feeling? So we have the Lovers. We have the Empress. We have Strength. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck is the 5 of Wands. Okay, so how do they think you are feeling? I think that this person may not be able to get a very good read on you. And I think that the reason for that is because they're viewing you in a very high regard. Like they're viewing you as somebody who approached whatever happened between the two of you to cause this ending. You approached it in a way that there was a lot of class, is what I'm seeing. And because of this, you didn't really call them out on a whole lot or like try to make them feel bad, or like you just you went about this very gracefully. And I think that this has left them kind of feeling a little confused about how you're feeling. Because like, in all honesty, it could be like, this could be very, very off. Because it's very positive. Which is, I mean, there could be truth to this. I don't know. But from their perspective, they seem to be under the impression that you are still emotionally attracted to them. You still desire to have something more with them. I do feel as though they recognize that you are not going to pursue this yourself. Like, I think that they're seeing you as somebody who has kind of retreated into their feminine energy and is open to receiving perhaps an apology, or open to receiving an invitation, open to receiving something from them. But you in no way have any intention from their perspective of coming forward and putting in the effort yourself. I think that they recognize that you are doing what is best for you. You are standing your ground when it comes to what it is that you deserve or what it is that you cannot tolerate. And I think that like they may feel honestly a little bit manipulated in a way where they can't quite pinpoint why they feel manipulated, but they feel as though you might be having a desire to manipulate by acting in a certain way, by cutting off ties, by removing your energy in some capacity. Like they feel as though you still want more, you have hope for the future, you've left things on good terms. But they feel as though you have the intention, you still have intentions or visions for this connection to move further into something romantic, to be rekindled and be pushed into something further. But I think that they see you as somebody who is feeling the power that you have in standing or sitting in your throne. Like the power that you have in living the truth of your self-worth, of not accepting less. They see you feel empowered. They think you feel empowered. And I think that there's some confusion on this person's end of feeling empowered, like somebody taking their power back, versus somebody using their power to manipulate another person. And I think that this person may potentially feel a little powerless right now, or like a little bit confused, because your energy isn't going toward giving them power, regardless of like, you know, if this is power like that's meant to control, or power just in the sense of like they know they still have you emotionally, etc., etc. That's what I'm seeing here. So let's go ahead and look into how this makes them feel. And we're going to use a different tarot deck for this. Okay, Spirit, we're looking into pile 3 and their person. How does all of this make pile 3's person feel? How is pile 3's person currently feeling about all of this? Okay, so we have the 3 of Cups coming out. We have the 6 of Wands. I'm just going to take this first one. We have the 10 of Cups. Okay. We have the Tower. And we have the 5 of Cups. I'm going to go ahead and clarify these. Why is the 3 of Cups here? Why is the 3 of Cups here, Spirit? Okay, so we have the Hermit, and we have the Page of Cups. Why is the 6 of Wands here? Okay, we have the King of Wands. Why is the 10 of Cups here? Page of Pentacles. Why is the Tower here? We have the Magician, yeah. And then the 5 of Cups, please. Why is the 5 of Cups here? We have the 8 of Cups. Bottom of the deck is the 3 of Wands. Okay. This is pretty clear. The message coming through is pretty clear. I have oracles that we'll also pull in a minute. But let's read this first. So, how do these assumptions make them feel? I think that this person is feeling a very strong desire to come forward with an apology of some kind, to have some sort of reunion. There's definitely a strong, there's strong emotions here of a desire to make things right. There's a desire here to look within. I think that there may be a little bit of conflict of like knowing what the right thing to do is, like allowing you your peace and letting you move on, versus coming forward and expressing remorse or expressing a change within themselves to you. They do feel as though if they were to come forward, they would be successful in rekindling this, if that is something that they desire. But I don't think that there's an awareness here that there has been a shift, and this person no longer has a hold over you as they once did. The confidence that I think they may have had in the past when it came to you liking them a lot, or whatever the case may have been, has kind of been destroyed for them, where they realize that like they are going to have to build something new if they were to come forward. They can't come forward on, you know, the two of you having a history and expecting that to be enough. I think that this person feels just as strongly as, like I was saying in the beginning, like I think that there's feelings on your person's end of this connection still having a future, this connection still having a chance in the future to really grow into something very loving, very beautiful, to be to just be rekindled, restarted. But I sense that they are not necessarily feeling entirely ready quite yet. Like if like they want things to go slowly, and I feel like they are still figuring out who they are. Like there's something here where they don't feel ready, and it doesn't have to do with you or anyone else. It has to do with how they perceive themselves. And I think that, you know, this is something that, this whole experience is something that kind of hurts them. It does feel hurtful for them. It feels hurtful that this connection is no longer, you know, in union. And they do think about this a lot. They think about the future a lot. They think about, you know, certain scenarios that they could take on to try to fix this. There's a lot going on here for your person. But let's get some oracles as well. Okay, Spirit, is there anything that I missed when it comes to how they're feeling? So we have number 63, cast your sacred symbols. We have number 38, inside looking out. Number 22, service. Number 26, the sheep who wandered and found a different shepherd. And we have restlessness. Okay. This person feels as though there's an urgency to make a move of some kind, but they don't want to make the wrong move. They feel as though their rightful place is kind of on the outside. Like, is kind of on the outside of where you are. But there's been so much introspection. I see a lot of introspection that has happened for this person. And they are now looking at this connection and at who they are and who you are from a completely fresh lens. There's a desire to show you through actions that they can be dependable, they can be reliable. They do have a path. They do know what they want. They want to clear the air. They want to clarify things. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, let's go ahead and get you guys some advice before we close this reading out. Okay, Spirit, what advice is there for pile 3 when it comes to this connection? I honor my self-worth by asking for what I want. I claim my desires. I hold great visions. I am ready to receive. There's that feminine energy again that they saw you in, that power. And then we have, I release my need to be right. I am defenseless and at peace. Bottom of the deck is, the more I honor my inner light, the more I brighten the world. I choose to shine. I think that your guides are really applauding you right now for not accepting less than what it is that you truly deserve. Not accepting something that makes you unhappy. Not tolerating something that brings you hurt or disappointment. Of being comfortable enough with yourself to choose being alone rather than choosing something that makes you feel crappy. And I think that your guides are kind of encouraging you to maintain this throne that you have now placed yourself in, that you have taken for yourself, because it's yours by right. But that's what I'm seeing for you guys today, pile 3. If this was your first time watching a video of mine, thank you so much for clicking. I hope that you like this video, comment, please subscribe. Any type of support is much appreciated. It helps my channel grow. And hopefully I will have another chance to read for you guys in the future soon.